the camera and my microphone. Hello, we're back. Thanks very much for staying for the Q&A. I'm very excited to meet finally Director Filippos Tsitos, and thanks very much for making
Hello from Athens.
Hello. It's like Eurovision. So, fantastic film. Do you agree? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So my first question is, you have co-written the script with Polydevkis Kliridis. Yeah?
This is the cameraman.
Sorry. Who you co-written the script?
Kardaras. Kardaras is the co-author.
The co-author. How did you come up with the idea?
The idea is very old. It comes from a friend of mine, a composer, who told me, why don't you make a film about a Greek guy who learns his Turkish? And he went to Turkey, and he's being seen there as a Greek, and in Greece as a Turkish guy. So meanwhile, those days we were somehow okay with the Turks, but the Albanians were very, very, very present in Athens. So I changed the nationality to Albanian, and that's why I made the film.
Right. So as we had an introduction here by Tonia Kazakopoulou, who mentioned that this film was made at the aftermath of a big influx of Albanian immigration that was happening from the 90s, and you were at the tail end over there, which had created a lot of discomfort and had inflamed people, you know, that you have xenophobic attitudes. These are some quite serious issues, but you chose comedy. Instead of, you could have made a serious film to talk about this issue. What made you choose comedy?
Well, of course, it's the way I see things. I see things from the funny side. That's the main reason. But the other reason is a habit of mine or a fixation of mine. I like to make films about characters who have inside them a very big contradiction. That's the way the other film I did was a policeman. That was the next film. A policeman who is setting free people for whom he thinks they don't deserve to be there, but his own moral. So this is how it comes as a comedy.
Yeah, so it's your natural way to see the world. I think also it gives us a little bit of distance comedy, right? I think it has this because when you are over involved in an argument, it's quite of a different position than with comedy. You get a bit of distance and you are able to study it a little bit better, I think, maybe.
Yes, it's also an effect of the comedy. Of course, in order to make a comedy, you have to take a distance, of course. But actually, I think it is. How do you call this? I have not to hide myself behind my finger. I see things from the funny side. That's the main reason, actually.
Yeah, and people with conflicts are funny, aren't they? As you said.
Could be also very tragic.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't be tragic, then you wouldn't be able to make a comedy about it. It must be tragic to make a comedy about it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, are you based in Germany or in Athens?
Right now, I'm in Athens. Because I have a job here, and I don't have a job in Germany because in Germany they have economical problems there at the moment. So I'm trying to work in Athens until Germany finds its way economically. So I will go back there for a job.
Imagine you said that some years ago, right?
Yeah, it's possible.
During the time of the film.
Impossible. This is the reason. All the people of the film business in Germany are totally surprised. It comes from one day to the other. After the war and after Putin stopped the cheap gas, from one moment to the other, the German television stopped to produce as many films as they used to produce. Like this.
Do you think we're going to have an influx of Germans in Greece?
Pardon me?
Do you think we're going to have an influx of German immigrants in Greece for labor?
I don't think so. I don't think it will go so far. It will be very funny, but I don't know. I don't think it will be very far so far.
But I was wondering, you were living in Germany for many years, right?
Yeah.
I was wondering if this gives you, being a Greek that lives far away from motherland, if it gives you a very specific perspective, you know, it gives you a little bit of distance again to be able to study your compatriots and the tensions there more clearly.
Of course. Everyone, not only a Greek guy, but any guy, by the time you go away from your basis, you start to look at yourself the way you have been there, to judge yourself, to see things more with a distance. That's for sure, yes.
Yeah. And I also wanted to ask you about the performances, because Antonis Kafetopoulos, who won Best Actor at Locarno, and Titika Sarigouli, who plays the mother, give incredible performances, extremely funny, very nuanced in this film. And I wanted to ask you, what was the process of casting and working with them?
Well, the casting was actually accidentally, because I had another actor for the part, and I was waiting a year for him to stop the theater he was doing. And at the end of that year, he told me he will do another year. So I had to look for another actor, and Antonis Kafetopoulos was in the company, in the production company. He has a small percentage, so he was there, and I was seeing him the whole time, from time to time, etc. And for every Greek young guy in the 80s, I was a young guy in the 80s. Antonis Kafetopoulos is a hero. Most of us wanted to be like him. So when I was looking for him, and I saw, I had to hide my, how do you call this, nervousness. I was very, very nervous. So I had to hide it and ask him for the part. And it was a great work together, because it proved that we don't like many works, both of us. We don't like to talk too much. We just go there and try. And it proved very good, to work very good with him. The other funny thing was that Titika Sarigouli, she's dead now, the poor woman. But those days, she was a TV star, because she used to play in a soap where she used to swear as an old lady, and this made her a star. Antonis Kafetopoulos is an actor since the 70s, you know? So we went on the streets, but nobody would recognize him, but we would recognize her. And this was very, very funny to observe.
And since then, Antonis has become your muse. You've made Adikos Cosmos and Fair World, and now you just finished the film, right?
I just finished the third film with him. And as Antonis said it, the results prove that we are happy together and we work very, very efficient together. So we keep on doing it without asking ourselves or without talking about how it happens, what happened, etc. We're just doing it. It's very, very big luck for me.
Yeah, because I think Antonis wants Best Actor and San Sebastian for Unfair World.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, don't stop working together as much as you can.
We're trying.
So I found the setting of the film very interesting. It's really stripped down, and it almost reminds me of a theater performance, almost like Beckett, Waiting for Godot, where it's the same corner that people meet. And I wanted to ask, was that a choice of desperation and need because the budget was low, or it was intentional? Was this minimalist a deliberate choice?
Yeah. thank God we had the money. I think it was the last properly financed film those days before the financial crisis, etc.
Okay.
After that film, the Greek Film Center closed. They didn't have any money anymore, so they closed for a year or two or something. What was the question, actually? I forgot it.
The setting, it's very interesting. You know, this.
The point, the aim was not to let the whole story be, how do you call this, trivial, everyday, realistic. To set it a little, to help audience to take a distance, to not to let the audience fall into this on the television way of seeing a film. So this means getting the information and waiting for the next information, to make the audience take a position against what he's seen.
Yeah, interesting. And my last question, and then we're going to have questions from the audience, is that this season explores films that were made after the 2000s in Greece by a new generation of filmmakers, and a lot of those take a punch on the family, like we saw Alps by Yorgos Lanthimos, we saw Matchbox by Economidis, Strela. But I think you and Koutras, you're looking at it a little bit more affectionately, you know, because it's like redefining family. Instead of saying, oh, that's something bad, you know, it's like you're redefining it.
I think it's a matter of age. And me and Koutras are a little older than all the rest you mentioned. And
Right.
all the rest guys you mentioned, they have real problems with the families. So we have it behind us.
No, you don't have it behind you. You have it hidden.
Yeah, no. We throw it away. I've been brought very, very kindly. My family used to love me.
Yeah, I can tell. So should we open it to the audience? Do we have any questions? Yeah.
Thank you. Really love the film. It's interesting that it's being spoken about as a comedy. I mean, while it's got lots of humor, I find it very sad about loneliness and isolation and men having problems, kind of having any kind of happiness. But actually my question, I mean, I love your response to that, but my question is the title. Can you help me understand why it's called Plato's Academy?
It's a good question. The first title of the film used to be Albanian, You Will Never Be Greek. This used to be a thing they used to shout in the football games against the Albanians, and out of this came a struggle and a fight one certain evening. After this, and after the film was ready, I realized it doesn't fit at all to the impact of the film, and I had a problem. I didn't have a title. Until Adonis, the main actor, remembered that the place where we shot the film is not exactly there, but very, very close to the place where Plato used to have his academy. And the district is called like this. And so I thought, wow, that's a great idea. Plato's Academy, philosophy, and these are our new philosophers of Athens.
Do we have another? Yes. And then at the back.
So I think this is a very telling movie for someone who understands the Greek situation, especially back then. Like, we have problem with the Albanians, but we don't have problem with the Asians, which is very weird. Anyway, I just want to understand about the love story, because it feels like it's a story within the story with his ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, like how it correlates to the main plot.
Well, question. I wasn't prepared for that question. I was never asked for this. Well, my main point was that why did the woman leave him? And this is something they talk about in the first or the second scene. She left because he insisted to have his mother at home. He insisted to live a life with his girlfriend and his mother in the same apartment. And this is the reason why the woman couldn't breathe. That's what she says sometimes. And I thought this was a very Greek thing to underline. There are many men living with their mothers. That was actually the main reason.
If you are a Greek person like you know exactly what he's talking about, right?
This is the kind of man we're talking about.
Yeah. We have some questions.
By the way, my sister has a friend since 10 years or maybe 15, and they don't live always together because this guy lives with his mother, and he must live with the mother until, unfortunately, she will die someday, and he will go to live with my sister. But until then, he goes back and forth.
Hello. We're watching your film 15, 16 years after it got made, and it still resonates. I wonder if you're happy with the success, the impact it had, and did you expect it?
Actually, yes. Those days where I was writing the script and we shot it, the Albanians were more or less climbed to the next level. They weren't anymore the poor foreigners, etc. The Chinese started to take their place, slow by slow. In this sense, I'm very happy to have made the film this way those days. I don't know. I don't think I could make it today. I mean, 10 years or 15 years later, I don't remember anymore. The Albanians are not a matter anymore, society-wise. They are completely assimilated, or to 90% assimilated. My daughter is going out with Albanian kids. My daughter knows Albanian words. I don't know any Albanian word, but she can explain me that or this or that. So they are they have managed to get themselves assimilated in our society, which the Chinese don't do, for example. The Chinese remain together. They don't mingle. Here in Athens, I don't know what's happened there.
Do we have another question? There was somebody at the back. We have one question here.
Hello. I just, first of all, I come from a place that's got a big Greek diaspora. So I found this very interesting watching the Greeks be like derogatory to immigrants in Greece when, you know, I grew up in a world where that was happening the other way around. So that was cool. But I just wanted to, well, no, not cool, but, you know, so the conscious choices around comedy, I found that interesting that you said it's because you see things through that lens. How conscious were you about like details to stop it from being too dramatic? Like in terms of not having any violence, I thought was a good choice. So you really portray these guys as losers in a lot of ways. And that's what I thought actually the romantic storyline was there for, to show, to kind of cut him down a few notches so we could laugh at him, or so we could see him be racist. But how conscious were those moves?
How
How
I didn't hear.
conscious were you about making those choices to keep it funny instead of dramatic?
Absolutely. From the day one, we had in mind we don't want to make a drama. That was clear. We have to watch out all the moments and to take out tragedy, because it could be very tragic, the whole thing. The other thing about the violence you said, it doesn't have so much to do with the film as with me, because I don't like to show violence. I don't care about violence. I don't like to see it. This is the reason I put out even in films I'm doing, for example, for German TV, I'm trying to do the violence the most little I can.
Thank you. So, do we have any other questions? Last one? Yes. Last question.
Thank you for the film. I was wondering if at the time the film reached the Albanian community and how they received it, how they responded to it.
It was very funny. During the premiere, I was at the back of the theater and I was looking the whole theater, and I could tell where are the Albanians sitting, because they would react as Albanians at moments where the Greeks wouldn't react, and vice versa. That was very funny. I think they liked it very much.
Great question. Okay, so I think we're at the end of this discussion. Thanks very much for joining us. I would like to know when your next film is out.
I hope it will be in the cinemas in September, October, and I hope very much that it will go to some festival until then. The film is the opposite, well, no, not the opposite, much more fast and much more funny than this one. I realized I want to make a film which is very fast, with many cuts and much dialogue. And we'll see what happens. It's about a group of people. Kafazopoulos is here the leader, who are sneaking into receptions to eat for free. Not because they are hungry, but as a sport, as an attitude against society. We will see.
What will be the English title? Do you know?
Receptions.
Receptions. Great, fantastic. Thank you very much for creating this film. We really love it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming tonight for this Q&A.
Thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Filippe. Bye. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. Thank you.